Live. Okay, we just got to make... Okay. Hey, guys, it's puck time. We're live. It's Friday. Alex B. Smith and Andrew McGinnis from WagerTalk.com joining us. I should tweet out that we are live. Alex, long time, my brother. I know you're not feeling well. How are you?
Yeah, just dealing with some back spasm issues. It's something with my ribs, so I got to get that checked out again. But other than that, looking forward to a good Friday card and the beginning of a solid sports weekend. Obviously, we got college basketball going to the tournament time. We got a great UFC card this weekend, so hoping to feel better and enjoy everything that's going to be going on starting tonight.
Andrew, you had a 5% play last night on the Edmonton over. Congratulations on the win. My God, you are absolutely rolling. A privilege to have you working with us, even though you wear these glasses now and they have a glare that annoys me.
It annoys me too, and I might have to not wear them on these shows because of that reason. But thank you. It was a good good game to watch, really. I don't usually say this stuff, but that game could have had, 9 or 10 goals if that first period would have seen a few more goals go in. I mean, so many chances, and it was only 1-0 to end the first period. But I kind of knew going into that second period, we'd see the game open up a little bit. Now 9-1, my last 5% NHL wagers.
Congratulations, dude. I went 2-1 last night in hockey. Lost with the Washington Capitals, but what a game.
Yeah.
So
Mika
exciting.
Zibanejad, unbelievable stuff. 5 goals. Can't believe it.
I mean, it really went down to the wire, but Zinabina had a bad, was phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Caps, I mean, 4 lead changes in that game. That it'll be interesting to see if the Rangers rather can sneak into the playoffs. Can you imagine those two meeting up in the first round? Possibly, that would be something.
Yeah, I mean, the NHL playoffs, man. I mean, every first round is a tough matchup. I mean, even Boston might end up playing Columbus, and I think Columbus matches up well against them because neither team can score. So yeah, it's going to be a wild ending, though, Alex. So many teams are in the hunt right now. We really don't know where this is going to end up. And I mean, teams like Vancouver could win their division or be out of the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wouldn't it be a blessing in disguise for Toronto to play Tampa?
I hope so, especially without Stamkos. And frankly, I'm fed up with Boston. One shot Ward 3-3. Nice of you to join us in the chat room. I know you love the Flyers. Plus 1,200 to win the Stanley Cup, and this is how that's going to work. If you put $100 down on the Flyers to win the Stanley Cup, you will lose $100. Regardless of whether it's plus 1,200 or plus 1,800 or plus 6,400, you will still lose the same $100. But, with that said, I mean, the Flyers are playing absolutely outstanding hockey and a big win against Washington. But I just can't see them getting through. And, the bottom line is I think teams like Tampa Bay and Washington are I don't want to say dogging it, but really just preparing for the playoff run. I don't think we should look at Washington's record and Philly's record being the same as they are equal teams.
No, I agree with that, but also you got to look at the fact that sometimes the momentum can carry you really far. Let's just look at St. Louis last year, and this is a Philly team I thought would completely fall flat in the second half. They've done completely the opposite. So, sometimes current form, means quite a bit, and if Philly can keep this current form rolling, who knows? I mean, they've absolutely stunned me. And it's been fun to watch. Like I said, we knew the Metro was going to be a tight race, but I didn't think Philly would be the team rushing toward the top, especially when you saw how the Rangers were playing, and of course how the Islanders have been playing for most of the year. Columbus, the fact that they're still hanging around with all the injury issues they've had, that's just been an absolutely fun division. It's a shame that there's some teams that are going to have to miss out on the playoffs from that division.
Ryan Cresta, You comment, Flyers have a better shot than the Leafs. Okay, so let me explain how this works. If you put $100 down on the Flyers, you lose $100. If you put $100 down on the Leafs, you lose $100. So both teams have an actual equal shot of losing you $100. One shot Ward, I agree. This show should be live on TV. If you have any connections, let us know. But we actually are in the works. There's so much coming down the pipes at Wager Talk and Sports Memo, the Gold Sheet, over the next 12 months. So stay tuned. We've got a lot of things going. Yeah, I don't know what to do about the title showing college basketball tip-off show. I will text the boys. Title is still saying college football show. College basketball show. Yeah, I don't know how to fix it, but we'll get it all working soon. Guys, promotions for today. Same promotions we've been running all week. New customer deal, 3-day all access for only $39. If you've never purchased from Wager Talk or Sports Memo, now's the time. That code is only valid for Wager Talk, but Drew Martin and doing his Sports Memo podcast and Jared Smith doing the college basketball show will have the Sports Memo code. So check that out. But if you've never bought from Wager Talk before, head over to wagertalk.com. Use the promo code PZ39 for 3 days for $39. Or even better, use the promo code PZ49. Last day, that offer is available, PZ49. That's 1 week, all access to anybody's plays for only $49, so long as you are a new user. Alex, I'm going to go to you first on this game. And yes, Carm, I'm stealing your jokes. Bugger off. New Jersey. They're playing at home, plus 185 against St. Louis. The over and under here is 5.5. New Jersey lost 3 of their last 4. St. Louis absolutely in dominant form, won 8 in a row. I don't think it's a great scheduling spot for St. Louis. I can't bet New Jersey here. I can't bet St. Louis. And I have nothing on the total. Alex, you are up. What do you like in this game?
I would actually take a shot with this team total. I'm seeing 3.5 with the over at plus 185 at one shop. This is a St. Louis team. Like you said, I mean, yeah, the scheduling's a bit tough, but they've been rolling in games. They've won 10 straight against New Jersey. Who's to say that they can't get 4 goals against the way that Corey Schneider's been playing? Yeah, I think got a win, but obviously he's been struggling in the last several years. I think that's a really good price for a team total with a St. Louis team that's been rolling as hot as they have right now.
Andrew McGinnis, what do you think, my brother?
Yeah, the St. Louis Blues have developed the longest win streaks throughout the entire season. Now they're going for another one. I believe you just said 8.
Yeah.
A season high 9th consecutive win. My apologies. So, I mean, look, this is a team. First of all, if it was Mackenzie Blackwood in nets, I would possibly look towards the under. But with Corey Schneider, it's like Alex said, one good performance isn't going to change my mind about how I feel about somebody. And I can't back an under with Corey Schneider in nets.
Yeah.
This just makes me that much more confident in taking the St. Louis Blues here. I don't usually love taking puck lines with teams like the Blues because they're so, prone to just winning these 1-goal games, Prez. You know what I mean? Like they're so content with doing that.
Yep.
But I feel like in this one, particularly with Binnington and nets, they're just absolutely rolling right now. There's not a chance that I'm going to go against them. And we've seen that money line price skyrocket ever since it was Schneider that was expected to be between the pipes. At first, it was Mackenzie Blackwood. Then it moves over to Schneider, and it's a pretty big insult to him the way the line moved. But it's pretty obvious why that happened. So I don't really have any thoughts towards the total. I look towards the way that Alex is mentioning. Forget about New Jersey. This is all about St. Louis. Look towards their team total possibly. Get the job done on the puck line as well.
He's Andrew McGinnis. Won his 5% play last night. Congratulations, brother. Absolutely rolling in everything. And Alex B. Smith also on an NHL role of his own. Alex, you're not feeling so good, dude.
Yeah, no, I'm dealing with a little bit of an injury, but I didn't want to miss another show today, so just toughen it out, just like the guys on the ice. It's the dog days of the season, and you gotta fight through some things, to get stuff rolling late in the year.
Guys, the NBA show, I know it was just mentioned in the chat room. It is coming back on Monday. It will not feature Joe as the host. We have had some staffing situations over at Wager Talking Sports Memo. We have a new host. I'm excited about him. He's awesome. I will be speaking to him later this afternoon and getting him all set up. So the NBA show is back on Monday. And yes, Ski, Rob Vino, Tony Finn, all the boys will be joining him. Guys, Chicago versus Detroit tonight. Detroit plus 145. Chicago on a back-to-back. Really great victory last night. I think this is a bad spot for Chicago. I'm not going to touch the side here. And Andrew, I'll go to you first. I do actually like the over in this game. What do you think?
Yeah, I can't argue that at all. I'm going to give a shout out to Carm in the chat because, Carmine said earlier in the year, you want to get on a team, kind of early in the win streak, not later on in their streak. And right now, we're seeing Chicago absolutely get the job done. When I bet the over yesterday between Edmonton and Chicago, it wasn't really me thinking that Chicago would do the bulk of the scoring. To be completely honest with you, I saw them score 6 goals against Anaheim, 5 goals against Tampa Bay recently. But I figured that Edmonton would kind of do the bulk of the scoring. Oh, no, that was Chicago getting the job done. There was a really, really fast pace to it. And, you could argue the whole back-to-back situation, but I think the whole mentality right now of just feeling good is going to override that back-to-back spot. So, we'd love to fade Detroit in every situation possible. Honestly, the line isn't even really that bad. I don't really bet minus 160s and 170s, Prez, but to be quite honest, this should be a lot higher, I personally think. But I would go over 6 here, or even same thing as you said with St. Louis. Look at the team total. The main thing that kind of worries me is not offense, is defense on back-to-back situations. So, like yourself, I'll just go with the over here at over 6.
Alex B. Smith, both of us like the over. Where are you on this game?
I normally would be looking at the Hawks in this spot because they've been done really well in the second half of back-to-backs. And obviously, you're not going to have a letdown. No matter how bad Detroit is, still one of the hated rivals. They're going to be geared up for this game. But the thing is, when they were rolling in those back-to-back spots, it was because it was Crawford and then moving to Robin Lehner. Now the possibility of either running Crawford for an 8th straight game or going with Malcolm Subban for his first start, it's a little bit dicey. So the over makes a ton of sense here. Obviously, you worry about Detroit having to contribute as far as the scoring goes, but would not shock me if Chicago rallies off and gets their 5th win in a row.
Alex B. Smith with us, and Planked. I agree, man. I need to update my photo. I'll have it updated at some point this summer, that I promise you. And Victor, I don't like Alex's jersey. It's ugly as hell. I mean, you got a black man wearing an Indian on a red shirt. I mean, the color doesn't match his skin tone. The Indian is somewhat racist to some degree. And plus the team is in Chicago, which is an old-time rival of the Leafs. I'm hating on your shirt, Alex.
Well, for one, I look good in red.
Yeah, you look good at everything, baby.
I like it.
Secondly, there's a whole story with the Indian head logo. It's not racist. It's got a lot to do with World War I and Frederick McLaughlin. I've tweeted about that story 1,000 times. And this is one of the best jerseys in all sports. So.
Well, we'll agree to disagree on one of the best jerseys in all of sports. That's for sure. I actually like, you know what I like? I like the Hurricanes jersey that just says Canes. I think that is so classic. I love that jersey.
Simple jersey for a simple man, eh, Prez?
Who pays your bills?
Letters?
Who pays your bills?
I do, in a sense.
Yeah.
Who signs my checks? Not me.
Yeah, okay. Vegas Golden Knights on the road playing the Winnipeg Jets. And I mean, this Vegas team is just absolutely rolling. They find themselves at minus 135. Winnipeg at plus 115. We have an over and under here of 5.5. And Vegas has won 9 of their last 10 with only one loss to the LA Kings, which I'd like to say are playing very good hockey. Winnipeg has lost 4 of their last 6 games. I don't like Vegas here, boys. I like Winnipeg tonight. I think it's a bad scheduling spot for Vegas, and I also like over the total. I think we're going to have a lot of speed on the ice tonight, and I understand Vegas is back-checking and forechecking like the Vegas of old, but I think we could get to 6 goals. Alex?
Yeah, I agree with you there. I mean, this is a huge game for Winnipeg, obviously. It's still kind of afloat in that wild card race. I just really don't like going against Vegas right now when they're running as hot as they are. But like you said, if I had to look at anything, I could definitely see the over cashing in here. Definitely think we're going to see some scoring from both ways. But this is a humongous game for Winnipeg. Like you said, they got to stay afloat with Chicago nipping on their heels. They're tied with Nashville. Minnesota got that big win to leap over everybody. So, even if they just go into overtime and get a point, that's still going to be important.
Andrew, what do you like in this one, my friend?
I locked in the Vegas Golden Knights last night. The line didn't move too much. Got it at minus 130. I think you could definitely make an argument for both sides. I just think Vegas is in really better form right now. Winnipeg has done a pretty good job making a good push, but Marc-Andre Fleury is playing some really solid hockey right now, and we're definitely seeing a full display of all 3 lines. Knights team. I don't think I've ever seen a team right now that pretty much every single guy has a contribution that they make every single night. You look at a guy like Ryan Reeves, even when he's not fighting, he still brings that element. That is the definition of a guy out there that's, he's the Energizer Bunny. He's not out there to score goals, out there to kind of bring some life to his team, give the star players a little bit of rest, and they go back out there and do their thing. They've got 2 lines that can score and a third line that will, play some good defense and shut down the top line on the opposition. I think that this is a good spot for the Vegas Golden Knights. However, I got to say, as much as I like depth, the Winnipeg top guys right now are certainly performing. So, it sounds like we're saying a lot of overs tonight, but I really wouldn't talk anybody off this at a really good number of 5.5. I mean, aren't you shocked that it's this number?
I am. I mean, I think it's one of the best bets on the board is this over in Winnipeg. But, in the same regard, look, they aren't exactly lighting it up. I think they won 3-1 in their last game. So, oh, God, gambling, man. I mean, Jesus, man. I thought Hillary Clinton was a good bet 4 years ago. So what the hell? I mean, it's a weird thing. I mean, there are people that actually agree that Alex's Chicago Blackhawks shirt is the best shirt in all of sports. So, as I said a few days ago, right. Some like them fat, some like them skinny.
Alex, Prez, I'm going to bring this a little off topic because people love it when you do this, okay? Have you ever watched the show called Life Below Zero?
No, but I'm living it right now in March in Toronto.
You should check it out. It's on Netflix. It's about people that live a few hours outside a city right in the capital of Alaska. It's unbelievable. It's about them hunting to go find their food. They love isolation. They don't have anyone living near them within 40, 50 kilometers. Something that you might find interesting. Just wanted to shout it out there. Not really something I always watch, but I was watching it last night. And I know that everybody loves when you talk about shows, so I figured I would take a little bit of that shine off you and mention a pretty interesting show. Life Below Zero, it's called.
Okay, there you go. You tune into Puck Time Live every day. You get slightly racist comments, political ill will, bad jerseys, Alex's glare, and Netflix reviews. As for the person who posted about the Rangers winning it all, if you bet $100 on the Rangers to win it all, what will happen, Alex?
You're going to lose $100.
There you go, baby. See, Carm, even Alex likes your joke. Guys, I had a 5% play a couple of nights ago on the over in the Calgary game. Calgary and Columbus, it was over 5.5. It landed on 5. I texted Carm and I said, guaranteed the next one goes over. Calgary puts up 6 themselves. Well, here they are. It's the next one. Calgary hosting Arizona tonight. Minus 140 5 and an over and under of 5.5. And even though I feel in my bones this game is going to go over, I think it's an outright pass for me. I do like Calgary in regulation now that they've got that monkey off their back as far as winning at home. So that's sort of my lean. I'm not going to be getting to the window on this game. Andrew?
I'm sorry, Prez. I don't really have anything on this game. I think I can make an argument for both sides and the under and the over. I can't help you on this game.
That's okay, dude. Passes count too. Alex, talk to me.
I would take a look at the draw here at plus 295. We saw these teams going to overtime early in the year, and they both had runs where they had a lot of games going past 60 minutes. Both teams needing points. Plus 295, that would be a decent shot. Could easily see this game being a 2-2 battle going into the overtime of the shootout.
Elliot, record this message right now. If the Rangers win the cup, both myself and Andrew will shave our heads. Correct. We will. Right, Andrew? You will shave your head.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Prez, this guy Jake Hurwitz says, Prez, if you have any interest in coming to Boston, I have an extra ticket to the Maple Leafs game next Saturday the 14th. What do you think about that? Are you flying over to Boston with this guy?
Well, I actually would fly over by myself unless he wants to fly here to fly back with me. But I do appreciate that. And I'll tell you flat out, what's it? Michael is his name?
Jake,
you have my word. If you've got a ticket for me next year when the Leafs come in, or for the playoffs this year, if the Leafs match Boston, I will be there. I can't make it next Saturday. My apologies. But yeah, I'll do it. I'm in. Anybody got a ticket for me anywhere to see my beloved Toronto Maple Leafs? I will make the trip if I can. I am a divorced guy. Thank you, Lord. Thank you for all the blessings that you have given me. Thank you for allowing me to get married so that I can understand the joy of being not married. And thank you for the freedom and also the extremely handsome face, incredible set of hair, and unbelievable pipes to allow me to have found Vivian, who is way hotter than I deserve. But as a result of being divorced, I got the kids 1 week on and 1 week off. And that will be my week on. So, yeah, Elliot, the guns, baby. I'm 51 and I like looking at my biceps. What can I tell you? Guys, make sure to check out Wager Talk today. We got a great promo for all new buyers. Anybody who's never bought from Wager Talk, you can have a 3-day all access for $30 off the regular price. The code is PZ39. Or you could have a 7-day all access for $70 off. The price is $49 for 7 days. All access. Use the promo code PZ49. Boys, Vancouver against Colorado. Vancouver at plus 110. The over and under in this game is 5.5. I mean, I think we could see this one in the playoffs as well. Colorado just lost to Anaheim 4-3 on the road. Prior to that, they won 7 in a row. Vancouver on a free fall, and I predicted that with their goalie going out. He is so good. They've gone over a whole lot of times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of their last 8 games. And that's where I'm looking, Andrew. I'll go to you first. I like the over in this hockey game. 5.5. I think we're going to get 6 to 7 goals.
Yeah, I'm a big advocate of looking into what the players are saying in their post-game interviews and the coaches as well. And for the past 2 to 3 games from Vancouver, it's been a lot of it seems to be not really holding themselves accountable. Just a lot of kind of brushing it off, saying we'll get it back next game. That seem to kind of piss them off. The fact is, though, Prez, I don't think they can really prove to us against Colorado they can play a defensive game. I would love to be able to have some faith in Vancouver to turn it around, to play a good defensive game, but I don't have that ability. I think that it will be another over here tonight with the Vancouver Canucks. If they want to find the win column, they'll have to score 4 or 5 goals. And Colorado is still bringing it every single night, despite missing so many guys that, I got to give a shout out to Nathan McKinnon, Nova Scotian guy. Unbelievable. He's just taken that team, put it on his back, him and Landeskog. When those injuries happen, right, Landeskog has won 6 or 7 straight games with at least a point. So if your sports book offers, betting points total 1.5 over, I would be looking at Landeskog right now and McKinnon, because I always talk about depth, but for right now, those two guys are carrying this team on their backs and proving that they're, a really, really deep team. So, the physicality with this team, once they get some players back, I would look to them. We're talking about futures right now in the chat box. I would look at Colorado right now to win the Western Conference as a future. And, Prez, Vancouver had a pretty good season. Markstrom played outstanding. You and I had a little back and forth about them, but when it comes down to it, Colorado's the better team, even with these injuries.
Andrew McGinnis won his 5% play last night. Guys, jump on Andrew. He is just smoking hot. Had a great NBA season, having a good NHL season. Alex rolling as well in hockey. Alex, what do you like in this one?
Normally I would look to go against a team that loses after a long streak like Colorado did. That was a back-and-forth battle with Anaheim, and they did possibly could be without Kel McCarr, who had upper body injuries, downgraded to doubtful for this game tonight. But like I said, the way Vancouver has been rolling with the absence of Markstrom, basically just kind of falling off the face of the earth. It's unfortunate, and the offense going dry as well. So this seems like a game where Colorado will more than likely find a way to win. I'll be staying off of it, maybe jump in with something live in-game if Vancouver does get out to an early lead possibly. But Colorado definitely has the more talented squad right now.
A broken mechanic. Who is the baseball guy? I don't know specifically what you're referring to, but who is our winningest baseball expert over at Wager Talking Sports Memo? The answer is Tony Finn. He also did it last year, but I think ultimately if you play Tony, Brian Leonard, or Dave Koken in baseball this season, you will have yourself a winning year. And Ken, Leafs are 2-10 back to back. I'm with you, but we're going right into the Leaf game tonight, and I think they're going to be 3-10 tomorrow. I think the Leafs minus 166. I'd like to take them in regulation tonight. And I also like over the total. We saw no goals scored yesterday. I think we're going to have a lot of goals scored tonight. I would have preferred it at 6, not 6.5. But I do like the Leafs in regulation. Alex, I'll go to you first.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely. Like I said, with that Anaheim game, that was a grueling battle they had with Colorado. They were able to get that 4-3 win, but now they have to come back and play a Toronto team that I'm sure is going to be pissed off losing 1-0 to LA and a complete flat spot. They want to turn things around. Toronto, only laying $1.20 in regulation. I think Leafs get the job done.
Guys, I keep forgetting, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure to click the bell so you know when this live show begins. And make sure to like our shows on YouTube. And for the guys who actually put the don't like button down, I just hope it makes you feel better about yourself. I mean, maybe it's some kind of YouTube porn or something. You're really like jonesing to insult somebody. So it turns you on. I don't know, makes your nipples erect. I don't know what happens to you, but good for you for saying thumbs down. Way to insult a free show that we work hard to do. As for the Leafs being crap, as one of our guys just pointed out, Anthony M., Leafs are trash. I don't know how you could support such a bad team. What do you want me to do? Like, I live in Toronto. You want me to just support another team? Like, just pick one randomly out of my butt? I live in Toronto. The Leafs have sucked crap my entire life. I'm fully at one with it. Frankly, LA Kings suck crap. Montreal Canadiens suck crap. Ottawa sucks crap. New Jersey sucks crap. Anaheim sucks crap. There are a whole lot of teams that suck bigger crap than the Leafs. Are all the fans supposed to just jump ship? What the Leafs are frustrating. They are good enough to beat any team in the league on any night. They potentially have more talent up front than any other team in all of hockey. They just can't get their defense right. And please, their top 3 defensemen are not playing. Morgan Rielly, Ceci, Jake Muzzin, 3 out of 6. Their top 3 not playing. You want me to jump off the bandwagon? Not gonna happen. We already have a traitor in our midst with Carmine Bianco being a Toronto-born, bred person and cheering for the Buffalo Sabres. Talk about sucking crap. Okay, Alex, what do you like? Andrew, what do you like in this Leafs game?
I hope we can get a recording of that. That might be your best NHL rant I've ever heard since I met you. That was passion right there, Prez, on a Friday. I love it. I say the best way to bet this game is the team total over 3.5. This is a perfect example. I talked about this with a YouTube video I just did recently on the Sports Memo TV. If you're going to bet a game and you like a team in this spot here, and the number is like minus 170 or very high like that, just bet the team total over. I think, you can get 3.5 minus 105. The Leafs aren't going to win this game scoring 2 goals or 3 goals. If they win this game, like most of their wins, they're going to score 4 goals. And you're going from a minus 170 to a minus 105 with what I think is practically the same bet. Honestly, and it really takes anything out of the fact that whatever Anaheim does is completely irrelevant to you. You're just worried about Toronto Maple Leafs. And, to use the word frustration is definitely one of the best words to use, pretty much. I live with a Leafs fan, and every day I have to suffer through one of our TVs being on some Maple Leaf games, and pretty much frustrating is the best way to word it, because you saw yesterday in this shootout, we've got so many strong players up front, the young guys for the Maple Leafs. William Nylander goes down there in the shootout, outstanding move, finds the back of the net easily. Then Marner doesn't even get a shot off. Matthews doesn't get a shot off. But yet they'll go ahead the next game, probably tonight, and Matthews will score 3 goals. It's the inconsistency that's not there. I mean, some games they'll score 7 goals, some games they'll score 1. I feel like they should just try and balance it out. But I definitely think the team total over 3.5 is the way to go here for the Leafs to end this road trip.
Guys, if you never want to miss an episode, click the bell. Boys, I love doing these shows live so much, I don't actually want to end the show. I'm going to talk about a couple of comments, and I'm going to throw a couple of Saturday games at you. Cameron McCann writes, when my dad told me he'd never seen a Leafs Stanley Cup is when I knew to pick another team. What the hell is wrong with you people? Vancouver hasn't won a Stanley Cup. Winnipeg hasn't won a Stanley Cup. Ottawa hasn't won a Stanley Cup. I mean, keep going. Minnesota hasn't won a Stanley Cup. I mean, Buffalo. Yes, Carm, Buffalo has not won a Stanley Cup. I mean, seriously, we are going to jump off of teams that represent our city because they haven't won a Stanley Cup? And you know how much fun I've had not being a Leaf fan living in Toronto? Dude, good for you. You know how much fun I have in the sheets with my girl? That's fun. Not pissing on people who are from your city because they cheer for the city's team. Anyway, feel for Andrew, guys. Not only does his city not have a team, they never will have a team, and he cheers for the Montreal Canadiens, which represents a city that actually wants to leave Canada, which is an ironic thing because their name is Canadians. They literally will never win anything again for the rest of their lives because they only want French-speaking coaches. So don't feel for me. Feel for Carm, who cheers for Buffalo. There's a fire in Tonawanda right now, like this very second for sure. Tonawanda is on fire. And cheer and be upset for Andrew because he has to cheer for a team. What?
Not only Quebec, not only do they want French coaches, they want French players. Yesterday, it was another agonizing thing to watch. Mikhail Sergachev, a guy that was a prospect for the Tampa Bay Lightning that we traded away, or for us actually, that we traded away to get Jonathan Drouin, of course, a Quebec native. Yeah. And Drouin has pretty much done nothing for us. Mikhail Sergachev fought Shea Weber and beat him down. He's a two-way defenseman. He's an offensive guy. He's on the number 1 power play. It's unbelievable, the moves that Marc Bergevin makes. if you have the Quebec province on your passport, he will sign you to a 7-year deal. He does not care. I mean, you want to talk about, the fact that this team is the Montreal Canadiens. They are strictly, trying to bring on Quebec players. That's all it is.
Yeah, the whole thing's absurd.
Major League. And I'm dead serious. I'm not even joking around. It's bothersome.
Okay, then. Boys, we're going to throw some Saturday games at you. I know the lines aren't out, but there's some sexy matchups. Just really quickly, everybody, make sure to use the promo code PZ39, $39 for 3 days, all access at wagertalk.com, or PZ49, $49 all access at wagertalk.com. Any handicapper, you have to be a new time buyer first. And yeah, Matthew, of course I'm starting with the Lightning and the Bruins. No lineup, Alex. My guess is it's going to be somewhere around minus 130 for Boston, with an over and under of 5.5. Real quick, brother, what do you like in this one?
I mean, it's gonna be a back and forth battle. This game, along with the Washington-Pittsburgh game, the two I have circled where I'll be watching and jumping in, playing things live, like next team to score a goal, different props like that. We see a lot of back and forth with those matchups. I think that's the best way to attack those two games.
Andrew, Tampa Bay and Boston tomorrow night. Rapid revenge spot. What do you like?
Yeah, two things I look for in rapid revenge. Number one, based off what we saw as far as scoring, and the first one goes, if it's low scoring, I look towards the over in the second one, and it was 2-1 the first meeting. I look towards the over. We're seeing lines pop up as we speak at BetOnline and Bookmaker. Boston minus 135, Tampa Bay plus 122. I think we're getting some pretty good value on Tampa Bay. I would jump on that earlier than later, as that'll probably get closer to pick 'em, even though Boston is at home at the Garden. And yeah, again, the total, I hate really these days betting overs with the Boston Bruins, but I think right now we're seeing the 5.5 at around even money. I can't go against that. You said it, the rapid revenge spot. Teams are going to come out a little more eager, and I think it'll be a chippy game, and chippy games on a Saturday definitely mean more power plays, and both these teams have some dangerous power plays.
Andrew, Jacob Lemieux, one of our listeners, says the Leafs are horrid. Based on his last name, I feel more sorry for him than me. Pittsburgh against Washington. Really big game here, 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Same with the New York Islanders versus Carolina. And then we have another big game with Nashville and Dallas. Alex, any thoughts on any of these three games?
Well, yeah, like I was saying earlier with the Capitals, Penguins, definitely, if you watch any of those last, I'd say maybe 2 dozen matchups between those two teams, it's just back and forth hockey. And like I said, the best way it's a good way to get yourself acclimated with in-game wagering, watching a matchup like that. Carolina and New York, be interesting to see, because they're both teams that are acclimated to playing earlier games. The Islanders a bit more so than Carolina, so maybe a slight lean with them, even though they have been struggling as of late.
Look at all these jokes here. What's the difference between a Toronto Maple Leaf and a mosquito? A mosquito stops sucking. I can speak only for myself, but I don't like anything that stops sucking. And then Carm with a joke. You guys, it's okay, man. It's okay. I love how these people don't put their teams that they cheer for in here. Andrew, anything you like in this Islanders, Pittsburgh, Dallas, those matchups?
Islanders, Pittsburgh.
Islanders are playing Carolina. Pittsburgh's playing Washington, and Dallas is playing Nashville.
Washington. It's wash, rinse, repeat with the over in Washington, Pittsburgh. That's all I'm going to say. Washington off a pretty tough loss. I think that there's going to be another kind of revenge factor, or kind of avenging that loss, I should say. Well, they'll want to get back into it. I used to be worried about 6.5. Like, I'll be honest, I used to look to only bet really 6s, 5.5s. But these days, 6.5 is nothing to be worried about, especially with these two teams. And the Pittsburgh Penguins, good win yesterday. They had a dominant win over Ottawa. I know it's only Ottawa, but they are one of the more streaky teams in the NHL. And I think that when they get hot, they get hot. When they get cold, you want to stay as far away as you can from them. And right now, I think they're going to start picking things up towards the playoffs. So I would like over in that game, over 6.5. Carolina versus the Islanders, pass on that one. Nothing really interests me in that one. Nashville, Dallas. I'm gonna go with the over 5 here. I love going over on 5s, and Nashville is stringing everybody into overs. Dallas can still score. I know it's in Dallas. I know they have good goaltending. I got Florida versus Montreal. Look towards the under right now, -115 at Bet Online. Montreal is going to go towards the under for the remainder of the season. I said they're going to play spoiler, which they will. They'll win a few games.
Yeah,
That's what they always do. They'll spoil. They pretty much prove that they're not going to go to the playoffs, and then they start, beating teams they should have beaten 3 months ago. So I look towards under tomorrow, Florida, Montreal. Alex, do you agree with that?
I definitely do agree with that. And looking in the chat, Terry talking about Wild and the Kings. Wild running hot right now, and I'm seeing them opening -145. Probably gonna have to wait and get that game in regulation, but this Minnesota team's catching fire at the right time.
Guys, no Vivian Parlay today. She had to go to some meetings earlier and just did not get the work done, but she'll throw something up on Twitter tonight at @VPresman. Jacob Lemieux writes, once again, the Prez offers nothing but comic relief, and that's not because he's funny, it's because he's a joke. Yeah, that sounds like Robin Williams to me, dude. I'm happy to be a joke. I want you to smile, Jacob, and I appreciate you logging on. I appreciate you watching the show. I know for sure that insulting others makes you feel better about yourself, so I am good to go, boys. Cameron, thanks for joining us. Richie Rich, thanks for joining us. All of you guys, thanks so much for coming on and commenting. I absolutely love doing the show. It literally took 4 days of doing this show live before somebody had to insult me. I'm bummed it only took 4 days. I love it. Andrew, you going to be doing your daily free pick video?
Yeah, I'll have a play of the day up today. Pretty much every day I'm going to be doing a video, Monday to Friday. Coupon codes, betting advice based off the comments, and then a free play as well. So it's all about the customer interaction and viewership interaction, just like we're doing right now. So I'm going to kind of screenshot a question I had in the previous video the day before, post that on the video, and then try and answer some questions.
Juan Carlos, thanks, brother. William, thank you, my friend. Same with you. Terry, Richie Rich. God, I really appreciate all of you guys so much. And as for Jim Rome's show, he's as big as it gets, so we'll take that, although I think I'm funnier than Jim Rome.
Prez, since we're on the air, I'm sorry to cut you off. I gotta just do me a favor. I gotta give a second shout out to Matt Carpenter. Just before this show literally started, I just got in the mail. He sent me a Dirk Nowitzki retro jersey. So thanks to Matt Carpenter for sending me that jersey. Nice. I appreciate it. And yeah, pretty much just it was a good price, and just saw him in the chat box. So I want to say thanks, and it's appreciated. Look forward to wearing it. Yeah,
way to go, Matt Carpenter. Thanks for reaching out. Boys, Elliot, everybody, we love having you guys on. I can't wait for Monday. I'll tell you flat out, and I was saying this to Viv, I've never had more fun than I'm having now doing these shows. It's just awesome. And that's why they're going a little longer, because, well, I'm going to miss you all. Make sure to check out Andrew's free pick, and we'll see you guys on Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern. And I want to leave with this. Nobody type anything in. We're going to do this on Monday. There is a way to tip us when you're watching these shows live. So what I'm saying to you all is, and we will go back to this on Monday, if Alex B. Smith will not drink one single sip of Coca-Cola for 2 weeks, if you guys will all tip him, say $2, I'll match the total amount tipped up to $100. Get Alex off Coke. Hashtag no more Coke. Alex, we'll talk about this on Monday.
Such a problematic hashtag.
Yeah, we're doing this for you, Alex.
Will the Coke help with the back? I don't know if the Coke, does that coincide?
The caffeine actually is helping with a little bit. So.
Okay, no more Coke, Alex. We're going to talk Monday. Everyone's going to get together. They're all going to tip you $2. I'll match it to $100. You have a shot at $200 to quit that stupid nonsense, that utter garbage. 6 freaking sugars in each can. I'm the Prez. Have yourself an incredible weekend, and we will see you all on Monday.